Okay, so this is the last example problem, and this is all that we're going to do in this video is just this one last problem we've got. So, go ahead and hit play, that'd probably be helpful. So, we're going to go ahead and draw this model. And you can hear my dog growling outside of my door. So I'm going to label this small angle on the left with 29 degrees, and the one right under it as angle Z, and then the one next to it as 112 degrees, and that's all I'm going to do on here. So number one is going to ask you to write and solve an equation to find angle Z. And then number two is going to ask you, what other way could you find the measure of angle Z other than writing an equation? So take about 5 minutes and answer that question, both of those questions. So now that you've paused the video, I want you to look at this line I've drawn in blue right here. As you can see, it's a straight angle, okay? So that means that 29 plus angle Z plus 112 are going to equal 180 degrees. So I'm going to go over here and write that equation. So 29 plus 112 plus Z, I should have wrote angle Z there, so that's my fault, equals 180. So I'm going to take away 29 plus 112, which is going to actually end up giving me 141 from both sides. And that is going to give me that angle Z equals 39 degrees. And that took me a minute to write because I don't know. So number two, where it asks what is another way you could find the measure of angle Z. Okay, I'm going to show you something that's going to look a little different, okay, but it's going to make sense. And you can actually use the vertical angles to find your angle measurements. So I'm going to show you all the different sets of vertical angles that actually exist in this model. So I'm going to outline the first ones that exist in red. So this thing I've outlined in red, this X shape, is our first set of vertical angles. And as you can see, I've got 112 on one side, and so that means that the vertical angle there has to be 112 degrees. Now the second set I'm going to outline in green. And as you can see, I now have a vertical angle that matches up with that 29-degree angle that existed right there. And I wrote it in the wrong spot originally, so do not write it there. I have to erase that, so give me just a second. So it's going to go right there, and we can see that that angle is going to be 29 degrees as well because it is the vertical angle with the other 29-degree angle that I have. And then the last set of vertical angles that I have, I'm going to outline in purple. And that's going to be my angle that matches up with angle Z, which we found is 39 degrees. So I'm going to label both sides with 39 degrees. Okay, and that is our last example problem with these angles for today. Thanks for sticking it through with me, guys. As always, if you need me to change anything, if you need me to go over anything else with you, just shoot me a message on Google Classroom and we can talk about it and get it figured out. All right, thanks, guys.